Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Today I'm going to do a quick recap on the trades that I took on Tuesday the 3rd of February 2026. Sorry for not uploading this recap on time. I'm not on my regular setup right now and I'm on like some crappy hotel Wi-Fi, so I just couldn't get it out, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, I'm trying again. Same Wi-Fi, hopefully this actually works. So on this day, I took two trades. The first one was this long over here that got tagged out at a loss, so I lost $600 over here. And then I took another trade, this win, and this was 1.21 RR. So at the end, I made point 0.2 RR, which is around how much is that? That's like $120 per account. But yeah, not the best days, a loss and a win. But just think about it. If you're making $120 across 20 Apex accounts, for example, that is a good amount of money. That's $2,400, which is around £2,000. So on a really crappy trading day where I take literally a loss and then a win, I can still make enough that could replace my salary. That's how powerful trading is, especially if you've got so much capital backing you up. Anyway, let's go through the trades. So starting with the day, I'll try doing these recaps quicker, but it's a bit difficult for me, especially because I'm working right now as well. But as long as I'm getting them out, hopefully in the future, if someone discovers this and helps them out, that's more than enough for me. So anyway, starting off with the day, as you can see on the 4 hour, I was extremely bullish. The reason I was bullish is exactly what I said last time. So on my trade recap the day before, we swept this 4 hour low, so the banks triggered all these stop losses, and we broke below these lows. But then after that, if you remember, on the hourly, we inverse this gap right here. And ever since we inverse this gap, we've just been forming bullish structure. So going back on the 4 hourly, as you can see, we're body closing above these highs, so bullish structure. We've got extremely good targets with this high sitting inside this fair value gap that I would want to target. Like, this is like some juicy targets right there. High sitting inside a fair value gap, and we've gone bullish. And the hourly, we're bullish. Look, breaking above highs, like broke above this high, broke above this high, respecting bullish fair value gaps. What else? Like everything's screaming bullish. But the crazy thing is, as confident as I sound, I was actually wrong about my bias this day. Let me go to 9:30. Where is it? Oh god, okay. I skipped a bit too far, but yeah, you get the point. Like hourly, extremely bullish. Before this, obviously, 15-minute extremely bullish as well. As you can see, we have a bunch of low resistance liquidity. I was expecting this to get swept and then for me to be able to long out of. So what I had drawn out was this hourly fair value gap that I wanted to long out of. So right now my bias is extremely bullish. The only thing I'm looking for is longs. I would not be shorting the market. The 30-minute, I wouldn't draw this out because this has already been tagged into. I wouldn't draw this out because that's already been tagged into, but I would draw these lows out just because it's quite interesting. I would want to see how price reacts out of it. I think I had, okay, I didn't have that drawn out. 15-minute, I think I had one zone drawn out. Maybe it was this 15-minute gap if the 50% wasn't taken. Oh, no, I didn't. But yeah, this is the only thing that I had drawn out. Anyway, coming into market open, let me just skip forward a little bit until the fat dump happens. So what time was this? Okay, 9:30. So it should be the next candles. So as you can see on market open, we start digging down, which is exactly what I want. So what I wanted to come down, tag into one of these zones, and then for us to fly up. I think one of the other zones that I was looking at was this 4 hour gap. Yeah, let me just draw that and go back. Okay, as you can see, if I just play price does come down into, like, it sweeps this low. We come into this gap, and I remember we continue just dumping. So when we come into the zone, what I'm looking for is this fair value gap over here. I want to see this get in first, but since we just continue dumping down, I'm not looking at that no longer. So this is like irrelevant to me essentially. I wouldn't look to trade out of there because usually if I want to see an inverse, I need to see it like, imagine it as a trampoline. I'm using these zones as a trampoline. I want it to come down and then bounce up. Anyway, we come down into this hourly fair value gap or this other 4-hour fair value gap. And as you can see, this is where I took my first trade. So we come down and we had good candles upwards. So I think I wouldn't count this as the perfect displacement, but I do think this was a very good trade. Like, we saw downward candles and then we just have a bounce up. Considering the fact that we're still bullish on all the higher time frames. This is the close, by the way, but the only thing that was a tiny bit suspicious was the fact that we body closed below this low with this 15-minute gap. But the reason I think it's still okay is because I'm not truly bearish until we inverse this big gap as well. So I wouldn't mind longing from here. That's my only condition on being truly bearish. And we still have some good targets up here. But as you can see, we just did not get it. I mean, this is the trade that I entered. So we got the inverse over here. We got the 2-minute inverse as well, which is what I entered off. I think this trade was extremely clean. But my bias was incorrect. I thought the banks wanted higher prices, but they actually wanted lower prices, and that's fine. Being wrong is part of the game. If you have a strategy that's 100%, then you're just a scammer. But I think my strategy has like a 70% win rate, and this is one of the 30% where it doesn't work, which I'm fine with. So over here, I was negative $600 across all my accounts. And then if I go to the 15-minute time frame, and then I'll show you, look, remember what I said, like, I want to see these fair value gaps get absolutely disrespected. And as you can see, once we've dug, like, you see this hourly fair value gap, once we've dug into it with the 15-minute that deep, I'm not expecting us to hold this anymore. At this point, I'm just looking for shorts. And the reason I'm looking for shorts is I want at least these relatively equal lows to get taken. Sorry about that. So we have all these relatively equal lows right here. So I'd want to see these get tapped at least. So what I did is I sit on the 15-minute looking for a continuation short. So I have this 15-minute fair value gap drawn now. I can remove this hourly now because it's just getting confusing. But now I've shift from bullish to bearish because, as you can see, we're dumping down hard. And we're disrespecting this whole gap down here, telling me that we just want to continue going down now. And we have good targets down here. So at this point, I admitted, okay, my bias is incorrect. I need to look for shorts now. The only way I'd be back bullish is if we come off this gap or something and then inverse this, and then I'll just get off the charts, because then market just looks like it wants to mess around with me. But yeah, we have this 15-minute gap. We have this one right above it. So all I'm doing is just waiting for a quick retrace into one of these gaps so I can just short. Let me go into the 1 minute. And then as you can see, we come up and look, we leave some really nice low resistance liquidity. Like, this is all orders that the banks want to sweep out. And when we see a retrace up, that's like the perfect time to enter. Okay, so we had this reaction down that I was looking to short initially, and I'll tell you guys why I didn't enter this. I wanted to enter from here and then target these lows. The reason I didn't enter this, because look what happened on the 2-minute. On the 2-minute close, we tagged into this 2-minute fair value gap. If we closed down here, then it would have been valid for me, because then we have inverse both of them. But since we're still respecting this bottom 2-minute fair value gap, I would not look to enter this. That is extremely dodgy. So I did not want to enter this. I think 3-minute. Yeah, there you go. We have a 3-minute fair value gap that we're respecting as well. So I would want to see that get inversed before I enter shorts, or I would want to see a resweep. So good thing I did not enter that, because look, price just went straight to stop loss. But what does happen is what I mentioned just now, a resweep. So as you can see, we sweep and then we show really strong downward momentum. I wouldn't say this is the craziest displacement, but again, trading is discretionary. We have all this low resistance liquidity. On the 15-minute, we're bearish. We're coming off a strong 15-minute PD array. I did want to take these shorts. Went down to the 2-minute. Obviously, there's nothing to inverse. 3-minute, nothing to inverse. So I entered shorts right here, protected that high, and then I'll show you where I had my TP. I initially had my TP right here, but if I open a side-by-side chart, I don't know if this is following or it's not. This ES chart is delayed. Let me see if I can find the price for you guys. Okay, cool. So if I just open this chart side by side, okay, cool. Let's see. I exited when we swept this low, the first one, and I'll tell you why. Although I was extremely confident on this trade playing out, the reason I only exited for a small profit was because it's like here, something like that. I think my entry might have been a bit higher. Something like that. Yeah. So the reason I entered right here was because I exited right here is because if you check price, whenever I enter a trade, I always look at ES. As you can see, these lows that I wanted to get taken, ES swept them right here. So right here, the same second ES swept these lows out, I was out the trade. And this is how I made back 0.21 RR, which is $120 on my $600 per risk, which is alright. One win, one loss, I'll take that. I'm still up a good amount of money on all my accounts. If I wanted to finish trading for this month, I could. I'm quite happy, but the problem is, as you guys know, all these trading prop firms, they always have like rules and stuff that you have to follow to request your payout. So minimum trading days and stuff like that. So consistency rules, all of that. So I can't exactly request this payout. It's not that easy. These challenges are pretty hard even when you're on the funded stage. But yeah, I just wanted to go over the trades that I took, why I switched bias. I'll admit I was wrong with my bias, which is fine. I'm not always right. But I wanted to see all these lows get swept. And as you can see, I was correct once I switched my bias. But yeah, New York session starts in 2 hours. Since I'm not working at the office today and I am just staying here, I will look to get a recap out as soon as possible. But yeah, look forward to that. Anyway, take care.